Before NBA 2K, before NBA Jam, there was a moment when a basketball video game finally felt real. You heard the sneakers squeak, you watched the cutaway dunk animation, and suddenly, the NES looked like it was broadcasting a basketball game. This is Double Dribble, released in 1987 for the arcade and 1988 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. A game that didn't just simulate basketball, it taught consoles how to present sports. Today on Classic Pixels Gaming, we're diving into the NES release of Double Dribble, its development, gameplay innovations, and why it became one of the most memorable sports games of the 8-bit era. Double Dribble was developed by Konami, one of the most prolific arcade developers of the 1980s. The arcade version released in 1987 and immediately stood out. Why? Because it didn't just simulate basketball gameplay, it simulated basketball presentation. Players saw camera angles, cinematic dunk cutscenes, and crowd sounds, all with an awesome broadcast-style pacing. For 1987, this was revolutionary. And soon after, Konami brought the experience home to the Nintendo Entertainment System. Porting an arcade sports game to the NES wasn't easy, but Konami managed to preserve the core experience surprisingly well. Players control a team of 5 with simple mechanics: pass, shoot, steal, and block. But what made Double Dribble feel special wasn't just the gameplay. It was how the game presented basketball. When you performed a dunk, the camera cut away to a cinematic animation showing the player slam the ball through the hoop. In 1988, this blew players' minds. It felt like the NES suddenly turned into sports television. Double Dribble focused on fast-paced arcade basketball rather than deep simulation. Key mechanics included half-court offense and defense, passing lanes and steals, block timing, and fast breaks. But the real star was the dunk mechanic. Players could drive to the basket and trigger one of the famous dunk animations. And those animations became iconic. The dramatic zoom-in camera shot helped sell the illusion that something huge had just happened, even if it was just an 8-bit sprite throwing down. One of the most underrated aspects of Double Dribble was its sound design. You could hear shoes squeaking, ball bounces, and crowd reactions. For an NES game in the late 80s, that level of atmosphere was rare. It helped sell the illusion that you were inside an arena, and it pushed sports games towards something bigger than simple arcade action. Double Dribble wasn't just memorable, it was popular. The NES version sold strongly and became a common rental store staple. For many players, this was their first basketball video game. And while later titles would surpass it technically, Double Dribble left a lasting mark. Because it showed that sports games could have style, presentation, and personality. Double Dribble helped lay the groundwork for future sports games. Without it, the path toward games like NBA Jam, NBA Live, and NBA 2K might have looked very different. It proves something important in game design. Sports games aren't just about mechanics. They're about the spectacle of the sport itself. Double Dribble may look simple today, but in the late 80s, it delivered something players had never seen before. A basketball game that didn't just play like the sport, it felt like watching it. And sometimes, that's all it takes to make a classic. That about wraps it up for this deep dive into the legendary game Double Dribble. Thank you for joining us. Please like this video and subscribe for more, and leave us your memories of playing this classic game in the comments. Until next time, thanks for watching.